Hey everyone, I'm Elias, and today I want to walk you through the best strategies for a successful soft landing in the US. As an entrepreneur, I know firsthand how challenging it can be to move to a new country, navigate the startup ecosystem, and build a successful business. The US offers huge opportunities, but you need to play it smart to make the most of them. It's not as simple as it looks. So whether you are an international founder looking to launch your startup or expand your business, these 5 steps will help you to hit the ground running. So let me walk through. Step 1, build a strong network. One of the biggest factors for success in the US isn't just having great product. Well, it's important, but it's not just that. It's knowing the right people. The startup world thrives on connections, like in many countries, and trust. Investors, potential partners, and clients need to see you as someone who understands the ecosystem. That's obvious, but it's very important. Start by attending entrepreneurial events, pitch competitions, and industry conferences. Look for organizations like Techstar or Y Combinator or Latino Business Action Network, or others that you may know in your area. LinkedIn is your best friend. Don't just connect with people, engage, comment, share insights, and establish your authority in your field. The more visible you are in your field, the more doors you might open in the US. This is just a guide, of course, but I think, and this had worked for me. Step 2. Understand legal and visa options. This is huge, and so relevant. Let's talk about something crucial for international founders, visas, and how to plan ahead of time. If you're an immigrant entrepreneur, understanding your visa option is key to staying in the US long term. Here are some common options. Remember that the US has 180 visas. E2 investors visa. If you plan to invest substantial amount in the US, that is the visa for you. O1 visa, if you have extraordinary abilities or recognitions, that's yours. Or EV2, national interest waiver. I know that one very good if you have a professional background. L1 visa, if you are transferring from an existing international business to an open US branch. Let me give you 2 pro tips. The number 1, consult with an immigration attorney early to understand which visa fits your long-term plans. The wrong decisions here can delay your growth and even risk your business plan. And pro tip number 2, plan ahead of time. All this process takes a lot of time and budget. It is not to download an app on your phone. It takes much more time, and you need to plan ahead. You need to talk with many lawyers. Sometimes lawyers don't have one opinion. They have contradictory opinions between them, or they can be aligned. So you need to plan ahead this, because also implies budget, and that budget could be quite significant. So if you're planning to come here to the US, you need to take a lot of time to understand the visa options you have, how much time that visa allows you in the country, and which one is the best for you in terms of your planning. Step 3, adapt to the US business culture. Now that you are in the US, let's talk about something that many entrepreneurs underestimate, the culture. The US business environment is fast-paced, competitive, and direct. People don't have time for vague ideas. They want clear value propositions and quick decisions making. How you pitch your startup matters a lot. A 2-minute straight to the point pitch is often more effective than a long-winded explanation. Investors and clients appreciate clarity. Failure around this culture is normal. In many countries, failure is seen as negative, but in the US, it's part of the process. If one idea doesn't work, pivot and try again. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter, but culturally speaking, it's more related to the culture. And also, especially for founders from Latin America or even from some countries in Europe, this relationship pretty straightforward, sometimes seems a little bit like I'm polite, but it's not like that. And that's my invitation to understand the American culture. You have nice people or complicated people like in every country. Just the way you relationate with, you have the way you talk with them. It's very important. So my advice to you is to, have this conversation, look your eyes and try to understand the culture, to fit well, to know how you do things in here. For example, in my case, I'm very get used to when I want to go to a place to say whatever, good morning or good afternoon. Hey, how are you? It's very typical, especially because English is not my first language. But sometimes people, and I learned this with time, they don't say good and you, thank you. Most of the people don't say that. You got 5 cases, probably 1 or 2 is going to say that. But the other 3 don't say that. They say, how can I help you? What do you need? They go straight to the point. If you go to a supermarket, they say, what do you need? How can I help you? So sometimes, even in meetings or business meetings, it's like, wow, did I say something wrong? It is not. It's just the people. For them, it's pretty familiar to go straight to the point. So learn how to navigate that. Don't take it personally because it's not against you. It is just more the way the American people and the American business atmosphere and ecosystem works here. Step 4, secure funding and grants. Funding is one of the biggest challenges for any entrepreneur. Luckily, there are many funding here sources, but I'm not saying that it's super easy to get it. And there are many fundings beyond venture capital. Let me give you some examples. Grants. Websites like grants.gov or platforms like Hello Alice offer funding, especially for minority and immigrant entrepreneurs. Accelerators and incubators programs like Techstar or Y Combinator, they're quite famous, or industry-specific accelerators can fund and mentor your startup. Another one is corporate partnership and venture debt, that it's growing a lot. Big companies love working with innovative startups instead of raising VC. And consider partnering with those corporations. Maybe they have like CVC arms or venture debt, and you can have a better control with the company and the relationship. I would say a common mistake entrepreneurs make is only focusing on venture capital. Be strategic. Sometimes non-dilutive funding options can be better for your business than the classical ones. I'm not saying that it's super easy, that it just send an email and you get the funding, but believe me, there are many options. Step 5, pick the right state to live. Let's talk about location, because not all states in the US are equal for entrepreneurs. I know you want to go to New York, maybe to Boston, but believe me, you have to analyze better. If you're in tech and VC heavy industries, California, New York, and Massachusetts are great choices. They are very expensive cities, to live there. If you're in manufacturing, logistics, or looking for affordability, consider Texas, Florida, or North Carolina, where business costs are lower. States like Delaware are popular for business incorporation due to their startup-friendly laws, but not necessarily to live there. Before choosing location, consider cost of living. Can you sustain yourself while growing your business? Tax incentives, very important. Some states offer grant taxes breaks or incentives for startups. The industrial hubs, being close to the other successful companies in your industry, can help you with networking and partnerships. Choosing the right state isn't just about where you want to live. It's about where your business can thrive. I know the city is very important. And of course, sometimes you get the dream to live in New York because you love the city, you've been there. Totally fine, I understand that, perfect. But believe me, if you are here in a short budget trying to make your business thrive, you need to know which city are you going to live. And the good thing in the US is that you have many airport hubs. If you have to go to a business meeting or take a trip, you are going to have an airport hub close to your city. And that's very important as well. Also, it is important for you, sometimes for some people it's the weather. If you are up in the north, it's going to be very, very cold. And you have other weathers in the middle area. I would say maybe in the south of the US. But most important related with that, because you get used to the weather, it's the ecosystem of your business. It's that state, is that city the right ecosystem for your business? If it's yes, try to look. If it's no, just pivot and go to another one. There's plenty of information about that. And I think it's very important to decide well where you're going to live with your business, because it's not just a matter of decision of if you like it or not. It's a decision also of a business thrive, and also if you're going to be happy living in that place, which is, from my point of view, very important. Soft landing in the US as an entrepreneur can be challenging, but it's highly rewarding. And like every important things in life, success requires effort, a lot of work. In the US, the money is not hanging on the trees like sometimes people think. To recap, here's your roadmap for soft landing here in the US. Build a strong network and connect with the right people. Understand your visa options to secure your future. Adapt to the fast-paced US business culture. Explore multiple funding opportunities, not just venture capital. And number 5, choose the right state that aligns with your business goals and cost of living. I've been through this journey myself, and I know how overwhelming it can be. Yeah, I know, it's a lot of pressure. But with the right strategy, mindset, and community, you can make your business thrive in the US. It's not gonna be easy, it's not gonna be super fast, but you can do it. If you find this useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments. I love to hear about your own soft landing experiences. Thank you for watching this video. Ciao. Adios.